Hey, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've posted a skating video. Today I'm going to share some tips that are going to help speed up your spins as well as strengthen them and just make them powerful. But before we get into that, I just want to share a small little message about our little shop that sells handmade headbands. They come in all different kinds of colors, and what makes them special is that we feature crystals on our headbands ranging from all various types of crystals: tiger eye, rose quartz, amethyst, everything. And these are perfect for skating or even just for a casual outing in the winter, for example. They make a great Christmas gift or any kind of gift. And as well as headbands, we make jewelry with crystals. We're big crystal lovers. So if you're interested in that, I will share the links for our Etsy shop as well as our Instagram in the description. If you'd like, you can just search for us, Healing Handmaids, on Etsy as well as on Instagram. So with all that said, let's get into the video. So our first tip is about pushing into the spin. So a lot of us, when we push into the spin, we're actually not pushing enough. A lot of us think we are, but actually we're not. Most of us are doing a small or soft push, as you can see in these two examples. It's just not enough if you want to increase the spin, unfortunately. So whenever you are going for a spin, you want to make sure, whether it's a forward spin or a back spin, here you can see that I am barely pushing into the back spin. Although I still make it, it's still not enough. So whenever you're doing a spin, you really want to make sure that you are pushing a lot. Not to the point where you lose control. Of course, you always have to have control, but each time you do the spin, try to push a little bit more. Add some power into that spin. So here I'm showing you, for an example, the difference between this spin and the first spin. You can see that there's a lot of power going into it, and that's just going to help me carry the speed throughout the spin. A lot of us feel that our spins are just really okay at the beginning, but then they slow down like crazy, and that's just because we're not pushing enough. And a lot of us think, okay, well, I'm going to add a lot of speed to my spin right before I go into the entrance. You're also not going to get enough speed into the spin by going into it really fast. You want to make sure that you're really adding power into that push. So here you can see it with the backspin as well. I'm really pushing off here. And this does take practice. It's not a one-day kind of thing, so just make sure it's in the back of your mind whenever you go into a spin that you want to add a lot of power into that push so that you can get that speed. And sometimes our feeling is not enough, so make sure you film yourself sometimes to see if you're actually adding that power into the push. Next tip is to hold our circles as well as our knee bend as we are entering into the spin. And once again, this is for both forward and backward spins. Here you can see I'm not holding that circle very long. Of course, I still can manage it, but it's not as powerful as it could be. Now with a scratch spin, it might not matter so much, but here you're gonna see in a camel, when I don't hold my circle, I'm not going to be able to do that camel. So once again, let's just take a look. Here you can see I'm preparing, and then I'm going, and then I'm losing it right away. It's just not going to happen if you do it like that. Here I am doing the correct way. I'm really waiting in my knee, and then I'm holding that circle. And this way, it's actually just going to start to spin on your own. You're going to find this phenomenon when you actually do the entrance correctly, that the spin just does it itself on its own, basically. And here you can see I'm able to hold the spin. I'm one with the spin. It's going with me and I'm going with it. And the same thing with back spins. If you don't hold your circle on the scratch or camel, same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna travel, there's not gonna be much speed or stability. Let's take a good look. Slow motion, same thing. No circle, and it's just not centered at all. So let me show you in a camel how it would look. Same thing, no circle, starts to travel, and I just can't get myself into that nice force into my own center. And when you're learning at first, it's really hard, especially with backspins. But the more you try, the more you're gonna see that it's working with you. So here I'm showing you with a backspin how much faster and centered it is. Totally different spin now. So your main focus should be on holding your circle when you're starting and keeping yourself in that knee bend. So you're not really lifting from the knee too soon. You're trying to allow the spin to start on its own. So make sure you're holding into those knees as well as your circle. Alrighty, the last tip is, maybe you're gonna see it here, maybe not, is to not keep your foot on the ice as you're pushing into the spin. So here you can see when I'm pushing into the camel, my right leg is on the ice, and then I've already started the spin, then my leg comes off of the ice, and this is just holding me back from speed, holding me back from stability. Here you can see it when I'm pushing off, my leg is already in the air. Let's take a look at it in slow-mo. So as you see, I'm going into it, and as I push, my leg is already in the air. It's never meeting with the ice as I'm pushing off, and then my leg can get into the position sooner. When I have my foot on the ice as I'm pushing, my leg gets into it later. And it's the same thing with backspins. This I see with so many people. It's a quite common habit from all people. I would say I would see it from 90% of the skaters. Here you can see I'm just not getting into the spin correctly, and I'm just not getting the full potential of my spin. And this is really common in back camel. So here you can see in the back camel, my foot is on the ice. It's not like horrible or terrible, but you can definitely gain so much more from not keeping this foot on the ice when you are going into the spin. And I'm going to show you right now what it looks like when you leave your foot off of the ice at the push. So when you're pushing, you want to make sure that leg is in the air, and see, my leg can already go right into the spin. But if I were to drag my foot on the ice at the beginning, then my leg would just be way too late into the spin. Here you can see my leg is already in the spin at the curve. If I were to do it the other way, it just wouldn't be possible. So it's not a horrible habit, of course. Don't worry. Especially if you start to do it now, if you're practicing on it now, it's gonna feel so different. So don't worry if it doesn't go right away. It takes time to learn this technique, but you're gonna benefit so much from it. Your spin is gonna be faster, and you're just gonna notice that it's more consistent. So thank you all for joining me on this video. I'm so happy to have you, and I hope that this video really helps you with your spins. And yeah, so I'll see you all next time in my next video.